The following program, Chefs About Town, is made possible by funding provided in part by Grey Monk Estate Winery, producers of distinctive wines for discriminating taste, all approved with the Vintners Quality Alliance seal, your assurance of international excellence. And sponsored by Cosmopolitan Importers, distributors of fine Pacific Northwest food products to the food service and retail trade. And Souk Harbor House, a restaurant inn by the sea on Vancouver Island. Purveyors of regional Canadian cuisine are proud to be sponsors of British Columbia's Food and Wine Arts program, Chefs About Town.
Hello, my name is Gary Faessler. Welcome again to Chefs About Town. You know, your regional seasonal cookery show for people who really love good food. Why? Well, because I have guests on the show like this guy, Michel Jacob, who is the executive chef at probably one of the top 10 restaurants in Canada, French restaurants in Canada, Le Crocodile. Welcome, Michel.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
It's great for you to be here, and today you've agreed to do one of my favorite things at your restaurant, one of my favorite dishes, and that's the onion pie.
Yes, we've been open for the last 8 years, and onion pie has been with us day one, and it's been very popular. And
very popular.
We have actually we had on the recipe in many different magazines the last 5 or 6 years, and I'm very pleased to do it today live on TV. I'm sure.
Oh, this is going to be great because it's been published internationally several times over the last, since 1983, since you've been open, and now finally, for the first time, culinary history, mind you, we're going to have Michel Jacob himself make the onion pie with humble assistance from myself. Now,
thank you.
Michel, where do we start?
Well, we need onions for the onion pie. We need some white onions, large onions.
And these are so big. Why do we use big onions?
The reason we need large onions is if you use the small onions, when you cook them, they get bitter.
Really?
So,
wow.
So you know, the bigger they are, the better it is.
The bigger they are, the sweeter they are.
Exactly.
Okay.
And we have to split them in two, cut them in two, émincer them, and then you have to put them in a pot with some oil, and cook them without giving them any color.
Okay.
So why don't we start and cut the onions?
Do you want me to help you?
Yes, it would be great.
We're going to have an onion
speed contest.
An onion speed contest with Michel? No, I don't think so. Well, I think that's... Okay, wait a minute. You're already finished. I'll make a lot of noise. Oh, boy. Okay. I got half done.
Finish.
Yeah,
whoa.
Except I got these two big hunks left over, but anyway. Okay.
So
that's it now. Turn the fire on this pan.
Yes.
Really hot. Now, we have a little of my friend Robert's safflower oil from Omega. Omega makes some great oils here in British Columbia, and these are organic oils and cold pressed and really super stuff. Yeah. Okay. Beautiful. Okay.
We added the onions into that pot.
Okay. You know, there's nothing like the smell of cooking onions. And
it's very strong.
Isn't it great?
Okay, and then that's going to take about 20 minutes.
Okay, now
so
you've got high heat, a little oil. Did you use butter too, or
no? Because the butter is going to get brown. Yeah, because we don't want to give them any color.
No color.
So we
cook these till they're translucent and transparent.
Yes.
So you have to keep stirring them, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Well, not all the time, but every 2 minutes, just to make sure they don't stick underneath.
And start to burn on the bottom. Okay. Now, to be expedient, what we've done is we've actually cooked some a little earlier. Now we have about 6 of these large onions in here, and this is what they look like. Here, I'll take that from you. Yeah. This is what they look like after how long?
after 25 minutes.
25, half an hour,
As you see, you know, when we start off, it's way high like that, the onions, and then they reduce to at least 1/3. So that's why it might
I know, look at these, they're beautiful, beautiful. They've absorbed that oil and all the sugar, the natural sugar and flavor of the onions. Those are going to be terrific. Now, we also have...
The next step, we need some blanched bacon.
Right.
In julienne. Mm-hmm. So we have the bacon here.
Right.
You're going to have to trim it off a bit.
Yeah, we don't want all this fat on the bacon.
No,
it's not necessary.
It's not lean enough.
Yeah. Okay.
And then if you want, you can cut that in julienne.
Do you want me to julienne this?
And
okay. And now what are we going to do with this after I julienne this?
We put it in cold water and let it up to boil for about
I hope you're getting
5 seconds.
this, because I rarely ever get to cut anything on or cook that often on the show, because I work with such extraordinary talent. I like to kind of step on the side and let these guys do it, but... Ow, ow, ow.
Did you cut yourself?
No, just kidding.
Oh, okay.
No, I didn't. Okay, so we want to put this fire on here, put that one? Okay, now what we have here is a little cold filtered water.
Exactly.
And we're going to put the julienne bacon.
Yes, make it up to a boil, and then
just bring it to the boil, and then it's blanched. And what that does is it takes out a lot of the excess fat.
Yes, because if you would put the bacon in a roll like that, the onion pie would be way too oily.
Yeah, exactly. Greasy. Yeah, too greasy.
So again, we already had some julienne
there we
bacon
go.
already.
Yeah, now this is blanched julienne bacon.
And I'm going to add that to the onions. The next step is the bechamel.
Right.
Bechamel is butter, flour, melted together.
Very simple, just a roux.
Yes, it's called a roux. Yeah. Then you add some milk and you bring it up to a boil. And make sure you have to stir when you make a bechamel all the time.
Otherwise?
Yes, otherwise you have some
huge
clumps.
lumps.
Yeah, that's very bad. And then we're going to add that to the onions.
Okay, great. Let's do that now. Here, let me do this way.
Yep. The bechamel has to be very thick. So,
gorgeous. And you just keep stirring it over moderate heat until it gets to this thickness, right?
Yes.
And that only takes, 5 minutes anyway, doesn't it?
Maximum, yes.
Yeah, about 5 minutes. Now, should I stir this together?
Yes.
Okay,
then
now maybe we have
some whipped cream.
Okay.
About 1 cup.
About a cup of whipped cream. Yes. Oh, look at this.
We add some eggs.
Right. Okay. Just keep stirring?
Yes.
Like this? How am I doing?
Yes, very well.
I get so nervous working with people like this, they're just very talented. Wow. No wonder this tastes so good.
And then you're going to put salt, pepper, and nutmeg. I think it's
okay. Oh, here
at your place.
Yeah. Here, let me do that. It's over my side. A pinch of salt.
Yes.
Okay. Pinch of salt.
Much more. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yes, it's fine.
Okay. And
pepper.
Some fresh cracked pepper.
Yes.
Tell me when.
Go ahead. It's fine. Cute.
Okay. Now, would you use white pepper sometimes?
I would use like white pepper.
You would prefer white pepper, because I just realized that
it's going to show in the
as I'm grinding it in, and
nutmeg.
One little nutmeg, fresh ground nutmeg.
Yes. Yep.
Okay, there we go. How much? That much?
Oh, yes. Yes.
So that's 1/4 teaspoon, approximately.
Right. Again, you can always taste that as well.
Of course.
If you don't think you have enough salt or pepper or nutmeg, just add some more. Yeah. If you are allergic to salt, you might put less. So, and that's done.
Look at that, it's beautiful.
We're going to put that filling in a pie shell.
In a pie shell. Now, do we have one?
Pie shell is, yes,
I'll go look for it. Oh, here it is. Now, for those of you who like making pastry, please, by all means, go ahead and make your own. Yeah. There's certainly enough recipes in your cookery books at home.
It's very hard to do
a proper one.
Yes, and it takes time, and it's much easier. Even if I cook at home, I will buy.
You go out
the dough
to a supermarket and you can buy the dough, and it's not that expensive, and it takes so long to make it at home. I mean, I think it's great if you do make it at home. It's much better, I think, but you don't need to. To be more expedient, and a lot of us don't have that much time. Now,
voila, and that's going to be in the oven.
Now we have a preheated oven at 400 degrees
for about 35 minutes.
35 minutes?
Yes.
Okay, put that in there.
That's it.
Gorgeous. Now, Michel, we're going to have a sip of wine.
Yes.
You've been working very hard. Now, this wine is made by a friend of both of ours. You've known them for many years. They're new friends of mine. I know them for about a year, and they're Claude and Inga Violet. They have an extraordinary farm winery in Langley in the beautiful Fraser Valley. It's the first one of its kind on the lower mainland of British Columbia, and I think it's going to go great with the onion pie. It's going to go great with the dish that we're going to do, and we'll tell you about that when we come back. But I just want to briefly, we did a piece on Claude and Inga Violet at the winery. Let's go take a look at that day's visit, okay? And in the meantime, we're going to sip on this.
Thank you.
This is great. We're aloft over the Fraser Valley. This is Langley, actually, and over there are the vineyards of my new friends, Claude and Inga Violet, and they're of course French. They moved to British Columbia 10 years ago, planted these vines, just opened the first farm winery here in the Fraser Valley, and I wanted you to see what the area looks like, where these grapes are grown and the wine is made. This is one example. This is a Bacchus, and it's absolutely extraordinary. This is my friend here. No, that isn't a problem with our technical equipment. That's actually the flame that keeps us aloft, and this is Steve Pennock of Fantasy Balloon Charters. Steve, thanks for bringing us up here to take a bird's eye view, as it were, of the valley.
My pleasure, Gary.
And behind me, we have a plane and the vineyards. There are some extraordinary vines grown here. There are Alsatian, Germanic, French grapes, varietals. There's Madeleine Sylvaner, Madeleine Angevine. There's some Chardonnay. There's some Bacchus, the Bacchus I'm drinking right now. And anyway, we're going to float about for a while until we can find a decent place to land. Then we'll descend and have a chance to talk to Claude and Inga Violet about their new farm winery and their approach to winemaking. And let's do that right now, as soon as we can find a place to land.
Hello, Gary. We are really pleased that you come to us in our vineyard, especially as it's a wonderful time, the autumn.
A beautiful, beautiful October day. It's not a cloud in the sky. And as I mentioned before, up in the balloon, we're in the Fraser Valley. Claude and Inga, thank you for having me out here. This is great. Look at this.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for coming.
3, I think it's enough.
Now, this wine, this is the Sylvaner?
That's a Madeleine Sylvaner.
Madeleine Sylvaner.
Madeleine Sylvaner.
Tell me a little bit about this.
Madeleine Sylvaner was found by Monsieur Moreau in France in 1846. And he found another wine too, which is a Madeleine Angevine. And the Madeleine Angevine is a very special plant because it is one of the rare, I think it's one of the only one who is only feminine.
I've had that wine. I like it very much.
Thank you.
Because it's probably all feminine, so maybe that's why.
Maybe. But he's doing a good wine, anyway.
It's a lovely wine. And they're kind of similar, too.
They are a little bit similar. It's Madeleine Sylvaner has a tendency to be a little bit similar to the Sylvaner, but it doesn't have exactly the same taste. And especially here, because we don't have the same ground and the same climate and in France, etc.
So we mentioned those two varietals, and there's also the Bacchus, which I had up in the balloon.
And it's also the Bacchus. The Bacchus is a German variety. It's made with a cross from 3 vinifera, which is Müller-Thurgau, Sylvaner, and Riesling. And the finishing here, I made the finishing not as sweet as the German. The German, they do that in the Moselle Valley, and it's much sweeter. Mm-hmm. But I don't want to say that the German are making bad wine.
No. It's just, you know, making wine is like is like a chef. It's like cooking. It's a very personal thing, and it's your own approach, your own your own personal taste, and how you want to live in the wine. Now this is the Bacchus, and I love the label and your crest here. Now, can you? Is this your family crest, or what
no,
is this?
not exactly. That it's Catalan, where the region of France which I'm coming, but British Columbia, and there they are the 2 lions of Munich, as my wife, she's from Bavarian.
Inga is from Bavaria?
Yeah.
And so this represents the 2 of you and where you are now and what you're doing, which brings me to another good question. This is the first farm winery in the Fraser Valley. Most of the grape growing regions in British Columbia are in the Okanagan, probably 95 or more %. Why the Fraser Valley?
Fraser Valley, because when I arrived in 1980 here, the price of the land in the Okanagan was very, very high. And an old gentleman here called John Harper had 5 acres of wine in Cloverdale. Right. And I went to see him, and I realized that the plants, they were healthy and growing very well. And with his help, I found, after some months of looking around...
It's good to have friends like that.
Yeah, a place, and I bought it, and you could see then the grapes are growing very
26
well.
acres, and they just look fantastic. And I should mention, too, now we have these blue nets, which we saw from the balloon, and I didn't mention anything about the nets at the time, but there are these blue nets over most of the vines. Now, why are they here?
Against the birds, especially the robins and the starlings. And if we don't put these nets, we don't have any crop. It's terrible. Especially
right at this time of year in October, the grapes, you're just ready to harvest, they're just loaded, they're sweet, they're just gorgeous. We've been eating them.
Yeah, I love the birds, but I prefer to keep the grapes for me. You know?
No, that's what I mean. Yeah, I mean, the birds love the grapes because the grapes are just so gorgeous right now. You're just ready to harvest, and you have to protect them. Yeah. So that's why the blue nets.
Exactly, yes.
And to accompany these wines, and I guess it's kind of representative of your background as well. We have some marvelous foods here, which we're going to tuck into any minute now because I'm starving. Now, Inga, why don't you tell me what we have here?
Gary, I prepared you the ratatouille, which is coming from the south of France. It's really very, very typical for the region. Where Claude is coming from.
There's red peppers and onions and
garlic.
Eggplant?
Eggplant and garlic inside.
And garlic. And oil, little olive oil.
Olive oil, yes, of course. And then here I have crepe. Crepe, it's a kind of a pancake, but much thinner.
Right, a thin pancake, but then you have layers and layers of things here.
With salad, with ham, and with tomatoes.
Oh, that's great.
And that's very, very nice.
And a meatball and some roasted little onions.
Yes, they are really
guys,
very, very well roasted, and so they have a little bit sugary taste.
Fantastic.
It's really very, very nice.
Well, listen, we're going to... Can we eat now? We're going to eat now. And we have to get back to the studio anyway and do some cooking with your wines and with Michel Jacob from the Crocodile. So I want to thank you very much, Claude and Inga, for having me out at your winery, Domaine de Chaberton, in a beautiful October day in the middle of your vineyard. What a way to have a picnic and enjoy your wines and see it sparkle in the sun. And well, listen, hey, thanks a lot.
Thank you for coming.
Let's this is a farm winery. These people sell the wines from their location. So give them a call. It's Domaine de Chaberton. They're in Langley. Come out, talk to the people that make the wines, taste the wines, and it's really impressive. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gary, and enjoy the wines.
Thank you very much. Back to Vancouver. Michel, so Those people are great, aren't they?
It's amazing because it's a lot of work producing wine. People don't realize when you drink wine, you know. It's now a work just to have a sip.
And I think it's better too that maybe the people at home now have a bit of a story, some history behind the wine when they go to the winery or to a restaurant and they purchase a wine, they drink it, and they can relate
to
back
it,
to those people.
You just buy the wine in the liquor store and doesn't mean anything.
And it makes it that much more enjoyable. Now we were saying that the Bacchus, I think, will go really well with the onion pie that's in our oven and almost ready to bring out. And the Madeleine Savannah, which we're drinking now, I think will go well with the next dish, which is the trout.
Trout, it's a whole trout. We're gonna split it in two.
Mm-hmm. Along the back here?
Yes, take the
just
bone
above
out.
The backbone?
Yes. So just go along.
Just feel the knife along the bone.
Yeah, and then you go the other way, the other side, down here. Once you know, it's very easy. I mean,
yeah, actually, don't be afraid to try this at home and do a few. And
buy about a dozen of trouts.
Yeah, buy a dozen trout. That's right. Buy a dozen trout and try them.
And it just comes off like that. See, it just peels off, and then at the end you just cut it.
Wow.
And now the trout.
It's beautiful.
Some fillets like that.
Okay.
So put the pan.
The fire on?
Yes.
Okay.
Touch of butter.
Do you want it on high?
Yes, please.
You cook with a lot of hot heat,
cook,
don't you?
Well, in the restaurant we always cook.
Because you have to cook fast.
Full blast.
And a minute.
And then if it's ready, then we slow it down. But we always start very, very warm, very hot.
Okay. Well, you got high.
Melt. We need a bit of salt and pepper again.
Okay. Allow me.
Yes. Sure.
The pinch.
Yes.
Pinch of salt. And some fresh cracked pepper.
Again, we don't want to give any color to the trout. We want to leave the skin. We want to keep the skin pink as it is. So we're just going to melt the butter, but we don't want to give any color to the butter either.
So, in other words, be careful not to burn the butter.
Exactly, yeah. Because if the butter is dark, then of course the fish is going to be dark as well.
I want to mention too that we're using sweet unsalted butter, which has a higher burning. It won't burn or brown as fast as salt.
Yes, exactly.
Because the salt is what burns in butter. For those of you who don't know,
you can put again salt and pepper on the other side.
Oh, okay.
And now here we have
What's this in here?
It's a fish stock.
Right.
Fish stock is done with white bones, leeks, onions. Everything is.
So white fish bone.
White fish bones. You never use salmon bones.
Too rich and oily?
No, it's the salmon bones also very bitter.
Oh,
so
really?
You only when you do a fish stock, you only use white bones.
Okay.
Sole, halibut, but no.
No salmon or red fish. Okay, great. Now we have a little fish stock.
Fish stock, it has been reduced. We put inside some whipped cream. We put a bit of Monsieur Violet Savannah.
What's some in
Yes,
now?
please.
Okay.
Just
some Madeleine Savannah.
A drop, yes.
Okay, good. Now this will really add a lot to the fish too, I think.
Exactly.
That little bit of wine.
Complement
the fish nicely, yeah. Okay, great.
Oh.
Now, I want to mention too that in cooking fish, you don't need to cook fish to tenderize it. We're cooking fish to warm it through, and it's important, isn't it, not to overcook fish?
Yes. In Europe, many people, when they go to a restaurant, they ask for the fish to be cooked rare. Here in Canada, they
like it more and more
they like it cooked a bit more.
Yeah.
But more and more people now want the fish just
medium rare,
cooked on the bone,
yeah.
But not overcooked as well. If it's overcooked, as you know, everything.
Oh, it becomes dry and cardboard-esque, and all those natural flavors and
go away.
It's no longer moist. Yeah.
We also have a julienne of vegetable. It's a celery and carrots cut in julienne. We heat that up, and then we're going to put that in the center of the trout.
This smells incredible.
Yeah, it's
a beautiful fish stock. I'm just going to take a quick taste of this with my impeccably clean hands. Can I turn this fire off now, eh? Oh, it's off, okay.
So, I might need your help here.
Okay, you bet. What can I do? Help you?
You take one side here.
Yes. Okay, good.
And I take on the other side.
Okay, go.
And then together.
Yeah, carefully. Yeah, there we go.
Up. Great.
Got it. Beautiful.
See here.
We did it. See, cooking extraordinary food is really simple. All you have to do is invite Michel Jacob to your home, offer him a glass of wine, have him cook the meal, and then wow your guests.
So we're going to pour the sauce on the top of the trout.
Now this sauce too, it's not really overbearing. It's not too rich. It's just very creamy and velvety. It's gorgeous. And look at that.
Just a bit of
the julienne.
So it's a nice combination. And then with that you could have some boiled potatoes or some.
Do you want some
rice?
greenery over here? These are all edible actually.
Put it all around here.
Our little bouquet of what should we have? Maybe a little red kale.
Cress.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe a viola. Hey, oh, yes. A winter viola, which is, these are edible, you know. I know you know that, but people at home may not know that. There you go.
Et voilà.
Voila.
So again, when you cook at home, always do it very simple. Don't overdo it, Don't put anything else on it, like don't put any tomatoes or anything.
Don't try to gild the lily. Just try to keep it simple.
I want to eat like
clean,
one veg
simple.
And a good veg that if I have 6 veg on the plate and both of them are...
Sorry to interrupt, but I smell the onion pie. We totally forgot about it. And I think it
should be ready.
It's ready.
Exactly.
And we have 1 minute to bring this out, but it's okay. We already have a... I was afraid this might happen, so what we did was we made one ahead of time. And we cut it because we don't want to cut this right now. We want this to sit. Look at this onion pie.
Sit for at least a half day, because if you cut it now, it's going to
run everywhere.
So
you want it to set.
The best is to do it a day in advance and then cut it when it's cold and then heat it up again, as we did with those 2 portions.
And this, when it's cold, you see it's set and it's beautiful. Let me move this away.
Voila.
And as Michel says, voila. Michel, listen, thank you very much for coming over and sharing your expertise with myself and my viewers. And it's great to have you. Please come again.
Thank you.
My guest today has been Michel Jacob, the executive chef of probably one of the finest chefs and one of the finest restaurants in Canada, Le Crocodile. And my name is Gary Faessler for Chefs About Town. Until we see you next time, please enjoy, eat well, drink well, have fun. Goodbye.
Kitchen facilities provided by the De Breuil French Culinary School. Cookware and accessories used on Chefs About Town provided by the Cook Shop at Coquitlam Center. Global stainless steel knives provided by Chuchka's Design Limited. Chefs About Town is made possible by funding provided in part by Grey Monk Estate Winery, producers of distinctive wines for discriminating taste, all approved with the Vintners Quality Alliance seal, your assurance of international excellence. And sponsored by Cosmopolitan Importers, distributors of fine Pacific Northwest food products to the food service and retail trade. And Souk Harbor House, a restaurant inn by the sea on Vancouver Island. Purveyors of regional Canadian cuisine are proud to be sponsors of British Columbia's Food and Wine Arts program, Chefs About Town.